How's it going everyone? Chris here with the next episode of Call of Duty Arsenal, my little video series where we take a look at the popular and most favourite weapons from the Call of Duty series, including Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops. This time around we're going back to Modern Warfare 2 to take a look at the M4A1 Assault Rifle. So the M4, also known as the Colt M4A1, is a carbine version of the M16, and it first made its debut in Call of Duty 4 and obviously returned for Modern Warfare 2. So we're going to take a look at the Modern Warfare 2 variant because we've got a few more options than we did in Call of Duty 4. We only got a few attachments like suppressor and red dot sight, amongst a couple of other things. But in Modern Warfare 2 there's a few other options that you can consider, which we'll get onto a little bit later on. So M4A1, made by Colt, United States. It's the standard issue service rifle for the United States Special Forces, and isn't quite so popular in the Call of Duty series. It's not one of the most favourite weapons, so you don't see it used that often, but it is quite a popular weapon in that it's always unlocked pretty early on. So it's one that you get to play around with at the start of the game, and it becomes quite a good friend in the early days while you're levelling up. So let's take a look at the damage stats and facts and figures of the M4A1 in Modern Warfare 2. First up, the damage figures are exactly the same as the ACR, and all around the M4 can be most compared to the ACR. So 30-20, that's 30 up close, dropping off to 20 at long range. Quite low figures in comparison to the other assault rifles, especially those that we have in Black Ops. This means it's a 4-shot kill up close or a 5-shot kill at long range, although if you do manage to get a headshot in there, it's a 3-shot kill up close, dropping up to 4-shot kill at long range. Although we do have stopping power to help us remedy this a little bit. Recoil is pretty low, not quite as low as the laser beam of the ACR, but the spread of shots do stick on target pretty much. They don't fly off in any one direction. The M4's got a pretty fast rate of fire, slightly faster than your average 750 rounds per minute at 800 rounds per minute. It's got one of the fastest reload times, only 0.1 seconds behind the ACR at 2.1 seconds. Or 2.5 seconds we might say. That's pretty quick in comparison to all the other assault rifles. And the M4 has the typical assault rifle magazine size of 30 rounds. So the M4, despite not being too popular, you don't see it used very often in game. There's other weapons like the SCAR, the ACR, the TAR-21 that all seem to be used a bit more than the M4, but it is definitely a competitive weapon. Its main downfall is that low damage, but it does make up for that in it's got a slightly faster than average rate of fire and that considerably lower recoil than you get with the majority of other weapons. Not to mention the very fast reload time, which definitely helps keep you in the action and can allow you to switch out your first tier perk for something other than sleight of hand. It's definitely a good weapon to see you through the early levels, in that, like I said, it's very competitive, and once you get onto the higher damage assault rifles or the ACR, it can be quite easily swapped out for any of the other choices. Being such a popular weapon in Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, and obviously it's the standard issue service rifle for the United States Army, we can definitely look forward to seeing it return in Modern Warfare 3. I'm guessing that it will be one of those early unlocked weapons that will see us through the early levels during our prestige. So it'll just be interesting to see if it's got that fast reload time that we see in Modern Warfare 2 and also in Black Ops, in that the closest we can get to the M4 is the Colt Commando, which has also got one of the fastest reload times. So it's a pretty common trait with the M16, the M4 and the Colt Commando. That kind of family of weapon all seem to have very quick reload times in the Call of Duty series. So let's move on and take a look at recommended perks for setting up any class with your M4A1. First up, we'll want to equip Scavenger. Now, we already mentioned about with that fast reload time as standard, we don't really need sleight of hand, so this frees up our first perk slot so we can choose something like Scavengers just to be able to resupply our ammo and equipment, just to help us play the full match with our preferred weapon. Second up, like we mentioned, the M4's got quite low damage figures at 30-20, so we can boost these back up to a more competitive figure, allowing us to get those lower shots to kill and make it on par with the other weapons in the game. And third up, just to round off any class in Modern Warfare 2, we'll equip Ninja just to be able to make our footsteps silent so we won't be hunted out by those players with headsets, because we all know that The Infinity Ward games have much better sound that can really increase your overall awareness. Anyone who's played with a headset will know that you can often hear people coming through certain choke points, whether the ground material is snow or if it's a metal surface. You can often hear people come in and turn around to take them out before they sneak up behind you. So recommended attachments for the M4. The iron sights on the M4 aren't too good. They're pretty tight and quite obstructive. So to replace the iron sights in Modern Warfare 2, there's three options. The two non-zoom optics of red dot sight and holographic sight, and obviously the high zoom optic of the ACOG sight. Between the red dot sight and the holographic sight, there's not too much difference. I think the main difference is that when moving or turning with the red dot sight, it will offset the reticle slightly, whereas the holographic sight, the shots will go exactly where the little reticle is. So we'll go for the holographic sight this time around, just to give us a bit of variation in these guides. And the holographic sight also looks pretty cool, and it kind of fits in with the real life alternative. The holographic sight is one of those popular choices, along with the ACOG sight, for the real life armed forces. Like I mentioned in all the other guides, in these weapon guide series, I'm also going to give a piece of recommended equipment that you might want to consider equipping with the M4. Because we've selected Scavenger for our first perk slot, we'll go with the Claymore this time, because in Modern Warfare 2 we can obviously resupply our Claymores, unlike in Black Ops. So we'll equip the Claymore, a placeable anti-personnel mine, which is useful for protecting doorways if you're camping it out for a short period of time. But you can also use them as kind of an early warning system. If you put them down on flank paths or choke points, you can hear when the Claymore is being tripped, and you can obviously divert your attention to whoever's trying to sneak around the back of you. So that's the M4A1 in Modern Warfare 2. Definitely one of those competitive weapons. It's not got those higher damage figures of like some of the other assault rifles, but it does make up for it in that it has quite a fast rate of fire and that low recoil pattern. So we've also got that very low reload time, which is allowing us to get rid of sleight of hand in favour of Scavenger, so we can go the whole match with our M4 and obviously resupply our Claymores and stuns and other equipment just to get a few kills from those. So like with many of the weapons we've covered in these guides so far, it's another one that we can look forward to playing with again in Modern Warfare 3. That's kind of the whole point of this series, is even though we're going back to the old games, we can look at the weapons that we can look forward to playing with in the next Call of Duty. So thanks very much for watching. Drop me a thumbs up on this episode if you enjoyed it, if you like the visuals, you like the gameplay, or if you're just a fan of the M4. Subscribe if you want to stick around for the next episode. I'll be going back to Call of Duty 4 next to take a look at the AK-74. So if you're looking forward to that, then stick around to be the first to check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.